Hey, what's going on, team? So what steps can you take in effort to prepare for this CPI data report that's going to be released tomorrow, 1 hour before the market opens? So it's at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. You guys absolutely killed it with yesterday's video. You guys got it to 1.5K likes. Hopefully you can do the same with this video. But I just want to make sure that we have an understanding of how to prepare an effort for tomorrow's CPI data report, also known as the inflation report. I will be going live tomorrow, 1 hour and 15 minutes before the market opens, and I will be live streaming this CPI data report. I don't have any special link. All you literally need to do is subscribe to this YouTube channel and that little bell, turn it on so you get alerted when it is that I go live. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into my screen. One of the things that I quickly wanted to chat about was how NASDAQ market as of right now is kind of just trading sideways. It's really Tesla, the only one that's really big in the green. The overall market is trading sideways, and I feel like overall markets are trading sideways as we prepare for this CPI data report. So let's go ahead, and I just want to jump right into it. I'm going to be moving this around just so I don't get in your guys' way. This is the part that gets kind of confusing for some people. How can you prepare? Is there anything that you can do in advance? What you need to understand is that everything that you can do needs to be done before the market closes today, because I guess you can trade pre-market as well tomorrow, and this is before the CPI data report if you have access to that. But you need to understand that when this report is released, you will not have enough time to read it and then react. The market reacts instantly, and this is something that you will understand as time goes on. It's just there's an instant reaction. And yeah, sometimes it ends up being an overreaction, but here is what people are currently saying, right? So we all know that inflation is at a 40-year high. So in my lifetime, inflation has never been so high. This is why the Federal Reserve has been raising interest rates. Raising interest rates, it's an effort to moderate inflation. By raising interest rates, it becomes more expensive to either borrow money. Therefore, if it's more expensive to borrow money, hopefully people begin to spend less. When people begin to spend less, inflation will begin to go down. People have said that 8.5%, right? It was our peak. As of last month, the last report that we received was 8.3%. It was not as good as we hoped for, but it showed, right? From 8.5 to 8.3%, it shows that potentially we have peaked. A lot of people didn't believe that. Now, where is our concern? So I'm kind of zoomed in here, so I'm going to have to move my little picture around. Let me see. Let me just make sure that I'm not in the way. Let me move myself over here. All right, so one of the things that we need to understand is, how are these reports calculated? It's not exact, right? Because if you add them up, so we have April here and then we have April here. So it's pretty much just calculated. The 8.3% out of last month is calculated. You can see that right there, based off of the past 12 months. But it's not just by adding all of these up and just dropping that to be exact, but it gets you to that general idea. We dropped the month prior and then we add the new one. So what is this going to look like for the month of May, right? Because the month that actually gets released tomorrow in June 10th, right, is actually the previous month, because the month has to be completed. So we're going to see the full inflation report for the month of May. This means that we're going to drop 0.7 off and then add the new one. Now, the thing that I like about this is that the previous month was pretty high. So with that being said, in comparison to what we experienced in April, hopefully, even if inflation does go up a little bit month over month, it doesn't go higher than 0.7. So as long as we're below 0.7, we should somewhat see a decrease. With that being said, where is most of the concern at? Well, if we actually go to the actual report itself, let me just make sure that I'm not in the way. You guys can see that this is a broken down list. I like to make things very simple, right? The way that I like to understand this is that this looks somewhat confusing. This was for the month of April, right? This was last month. All they calculate is for all food items. Did the price of food items go up or down month over month? To the cost of energy, right? So what's made up of energy? Energy commodities, gasoline, fuel services, electricity, utilities. Did that go up or down month over month? All items, less food and energy. So again, it breaks down everything. It breaks down new vehicles. It breaks down used cars and trucks. It breaks down apparel. So these are all the main, the main thing that makes up the CPI data report. With that being said, where is the biggest concern? What has the most weight? That's always what I like to ask myself. Well, if you guys saw in the month of March, because of Russia attacking Ukraine and oil prices skyrocketing, you can see that month over month, there has never been an increase really in the double digits. But there was in March, right? From 22.3, 18.3, 18.1, 11.1. Can you guess what that was? All energy. Fuel, gasoline, energy, commodities, all of that. Month over month, right? For the month of April, we actually saw somewhat of a decrease, right? Because we saw that hopefully in March, right? From March to April, we hoped that we pulled on back. We saw a decrease of 5.4%, 6.1 points, right? And then we saw an increase here in energy services of 2.7%. So energy is definitely the area where I think we need to chip away the most at. It's kind of like common sense. My concern now is what retailers have now announced. And what I mean by that is because of the cost of energy going up, it has made it more expensive for transportation services to deliver these items. And not only with just that, but also for transportation for people like you and I, we've seen airline prices go up, right? Because it eats into their net margins when oil prices are higher. And I think this is the domino effect that we're going to experience, which takes a while, in this up and coming, CPI data report, where I hope, right? I hope that inflation has peaked. But because of how much it chipped away in April, but still how much we're still seeing oil prices rise as of last month and this month, it wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me if not only oil prices either maintain or energy prices maintain and or go up a little bit from the previous month, but on top of that, how this will affect the cost of food, goods, and services that we use, right? Transportation services. We haven't really seen a huge increase in this, but we've noticed that, that has been a concern for a lot of airlines. That has been a concern for a lot of retailers, Walmart and Target. Walmart recently saw its biggest single day drop since 1987. Think about that. These are all things we need to be talking about. These are all things that we need to be preparing for. And this is why I like having the conversation with you guys. It's not because any of us can predict, right? There's no that's not what I'm here to do. I like you guys to be made aware of like what makes up this like very confusing and obscure like CPI data report. It's just an inflation report based off of those consumer goods that you see there: transportation, food, energy, used cars, new cars, and stuff like that. And all they look at is month over month. And then the CPI data report calculates for the past 12 months, where are we at? Hopefully we're less than 8.5%, but I really hope that we're less than 8.3%. Do I think that we're going to hit that? I think maybe this month, but I think the next month, because it will take into effect what we're experiencing right now in the month of June, where oil prices are going back up, it's kind of delayed. Do you get what I mean? It's the reaction and the domino effect is kind of delayed, especially because each month is prorated from the previous month. So I'm excited to follow up. I just wanted you guys to be made aware of what makes up the CPI data report. And then once it is released, I'm going to be live tomorrow, capturing it all to see if it's a positive or negative catalyst. So if you guys want to join us, again, make sure you subscribe, make sure you turn on those post notifications. And I'm just excited. I hope that the market just holds at the levels that we're at right now. All I want to see is progress. If we see that CPI, or if we see that the inflation report is released and we're at above 8.5%, I think it could be a bloodbath for the market tomorrow, which is bad, right? Because the CPI data report gets released tomorrow. And with that being said, it's also a Friday, which tends to be a slower day, and there tends to be more selling pressure. So, but again, there's no reason to get super scared. All I've been trying to preach to all of my Learn Plan Profit traders, right, is how important it is right now to be selective. It's not that you should be scared. If you like the price right now on Apple, if you like the price right now on Amazon, whatever the case might be, don't be afraid to invest. Don't be afraid to buy those shares, but just do it in a moderate way where you're taking worst case scenario into consideration. I think it's a very healthy way to approach the market as of right now. Can things get worse? Of course. But can things begin to get better? yeah, it's been looking like it, at least for the past 2 weeks, right? So I'm excited to follow up. I hope to see you guys tomorrow for our live session. Again, make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. And also, if you guys want to stay connected, I do run a free trading group chat, and that's going to be that first link in the description. So make sure you click that. I do trade live every single morning, and this will be after that little live CPI data report session. So if you want to join us for that, take 2 minutes, click the second link down below, learn a little bit more about our Learn Plan Profit group, and see if it's a good fit for you. I appreciate you guys' time. I'll see you guys on the next one. I hope that it earns a thumbs up. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.